Bring back rock. Hey everybody, welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today's artist is by viewer suggestion again, and it is Fiona.
Fiona!
No, not that Fiona, but if you're going to Google Fiona, put Fiona Singer or Fiona Flanagan, or you're getting a lot of Shrek stuff, just telling you that. All right, so a couple things on top. First off, like I said, viewer suggestion, and I'm really glad it was suggested because I learned a lot. And she had a very interesting career, not just in music, but out of music. I'm not going to, it's just called foreshadowing. She had three, let's just say interactions or projects with absolutely iconic bands or performers that you probably didn't know about. Might have heard of one of them, but probably didn't know about the other two. So that's kind of towards the end of the video. Stay tuned to listen to that. I came away very impressed by this woman. She was smart, funny, positive, especially when it came to like when her music career, and it turned out she wasn't going to go multi-platinum. Had to get a new job, and I ended up going back to school and getting a degree and a better job, bettering herself. And she says she's so proud of. Let's face it, she said you have to support yourself. You have to find a way to support yourself and pay the bills. And she did what she had to do, and was very successful at it. Very good. Very proud of that as well, as she should be. Also, she was marketed as a hard rock performer. I'm not sure I would put her in the hard rock category. I'm not exactly sure where she falls. Some songs definitely hard rock, really good, really cool. Some songs definitely pop, a lot of keyboards and either drums that were gated or had some kind of effect on them, or were electronic drums. Not really sure what was going on there. But she kind of hard to pigeonhole her. I tried to think maybe a couple people to compare her to. Laura Branigan, who had an amazing voice. Pat Benatar in probably the mid-late 80s. Scandal, I thought, was a good one to compare her to, or maybe the first Soraya album. Wherever you put her, she's kind of in that ballpark. So without further ado, let's just get started and talk about Fiona. So let's go back to the beginning with Fiona. She is from New Jersey, and she was a very promising student in high school. She was class president. She won some sort of math award, so she was very good with numbers, which comes into play later on. So being a promising student, many people thought it was a mistake that she decided to focus on her music career and not go to college, which is logical, but if you're chasing your dreams in rock and roll, usually helps to take your swing early. She went from New Jersey to New York, met fellow like-minded musicians, and was taking any gig and doing any project. She was doing two studio projects at roughly the same time. One was with a guy named Mark Black, who had some kind of production deal with Columbia Records. She recorded a pop song in the vein of Bananarama. His original idea was to have 3 female singers, but she's the only one who ever recorded. She wasn't sure if he had trouble finding 2 other female singers that he liked, or if he just liked the way she performed the song and was happy with it being just her. Second project was with Donnie Kissenbach, who had worked with Rick Derringer. This was more of a rock project. She ended up with 2 record label offers on the table. Columbia for the Bananarama type project, and one for her as a rock singer with Atlantic Records. Being a fan of bands like Foreigner and Aerosmith, she took the offer to sing rock music, the music she was a fan of, and signed at the age of 22. She worked with Pepe Marcello of the Good Rats, and he produced the album and wrote a majority of the first album. Fiona also wrote a lot, but only a few of her compositions made the album. Now this changed as her career moved along, and she became the main songwriter of her albums, but often writing with outside writers. Her self-titled debut album was released in 1985, charting at number 71. Fiona hated the album cover. They were horrified by the album cover. She felt it didn't represent the feel of the songs, but she didn't want to delay the release and wasn't sure how much power she had as a young artist. The cover does look like a pop cover, no doubt about it. A different photo was chosen for Europe, and that one she liked a lot better. The single, Talk to Me, went to number 12 on the rock charts and number 64 on the pop charts. The song was written by musician and producer Beau Hill. Beau Hill actually became the producer on her second album, kind of because of 2 things. One, because of the success of Talk to Me. They thought it was a good pairing and he should produce the album. 2, Fiona found herself in a limo with label mate Robin Crosby of Ratt, who showed her their new album, Invasion of Your Privacy, which was produced by Beau Hill, and he suggested she use him for their new album, which she did. One of Beau's good friends was Kip Winger, who did background vocals on the second album. Album number 2, Beyond the Pale, was released in 1986. Another musician on the album is guitarist Reb Beach. Yes, the beginning of Winger was formed on Fiona's second album, as Reb and Kip would meet and later form the band Winger. Joey Franco played drums on her first 2 albums. He played with the Good Rats and later with Twisted Sister. The day the album was finished recording, producer Beau Hill asked Fiona out to dinner, and a romance began. They were together for nearly 10 years, but only married for 1. Beau also produced album number 3, Heart Like a Gun, which came out in 1989. This album featured a duet, and I read this somewhere and I thought it was great. It featured a duet with fellow genetic lottery winner Kip Winger. Yes, Fiona's gorgeous. I don't always get when girls think someone is hot, but yeah, I get it. Kip Winger was a handsome dude. So the 2 genetic lottery winners released You're Sexing Me. The single and video did pretty well, getting quite a bit of MTV airplay. This album also featured Kip Winger on bass and Rod Morgenstein, of course, of Winger, on drums. Now this album had Brad Gillis of Night Ranger and briefly Ozzy on guitar. I'm telling you, this girl had great musicians to work with. The album only went to 150 on the charts. This was her last album with Atlantic Records, but not her last album, oh no. She signed to Geffen Records by none other than A&R mastermind John Kolodner and released the album Squeeze in 1992. Maybe her most hard rock album. However, this was 1992 and hard rock just wasn't quite in vogue the way it used to be. Now things were changing. Music tastes, etc. She's going through a divorce. She decides to take some classes at UCLA between albums. She also needed a way to support herself. Now, a friend, Danny Sorensen, I believe was his name, managed the Doors and needed help. She convinced him to hire her. So she helped as an assistant manager of the Doors, part-time, and went to school part-time. Now she's very proud of herself, finding a way to support herself and kickstarting her career change by getting her degree. She was a little down at the time, to say the least, but she really says now she really shouldn't have been. Making career changes, supporting yourself, bettering yourself, it all should be celebrated as an achievement. It's not easy, and I agree 100%. So she picks herself up by her bootstraps, gets a job as an assistant managing the Doors in the music biz, but not as an artist anymore, and then gets her degree. She got a job as an accountant right out of school at Price Waterhouse. See, I told you being good with numbers would come into play at the beginning of this video. She released her latest album, Unbroken, in 2011. Robin Beck, another female vocalist you may know, kind of in the same category as her, was one of the people most insistent that she return to music. Another good record, and maybe again a little harder than her first couple records. She remarried and I believe has 2 kids that are older now, in high school, college age. Now we talked about her music, but we didn't talk about this, her acting career. If you remember, Miami Vice had a cool crossover thing with a lot of musicians appearing in roles. I'm going by memory, so maybe a little wrong here, but I believe, but trust me, I have more memory in my 80s trivia than I do in why I went down to the basement or what I had for breakfast. So, had people like Glenn Frey, Phil Collins is in it, Gene Simmons, definitely Sheena Easton, Ted Nugent, and more, including our hero of this story, Fiona, who had a part in an episode called Little Miss Dangerous, where she played a teenage prostitute. Now, pop and rock stars were also in the movies. Phil Collins, Gene Simmons, and Roger Daltrey were all in a bunch. Joan Jett, and again, Fiona. She was in Hearts of Fire, released in 1987, which also starred Bob Dylan and Rupert Everett. It was a vehicle for Bob, and Fiona too. She says he was always very nice, very respectful to her. She said she felt a little bit invisible at press conferences when everyone pretty much just wanted to talk to Bob. He told her once she must be a great singer if she has this whole movie based around her. The soundtrack was supposed to have 4 new Bob Dylan songs, but he only turned in 2 new songs and a cover tune. Fiona had 5 songs on the soundtrack. The movie, unfortunately, was not a big hit. It was kind of released in Dylan's downtime in the 80s when he was kind of past his prime and he hadn't resurfaced again with the Traveling Wilburys. Okay, so that's a lot about Fiona, but I do have one more cool thing. She was also a bridesmaid in Rod Stewart's wedding to Rachel Hunter. Apparently, Rachel had dated Kip Winger for a while, and she became good friends because Kip and Beau were such good friends. She became good friends with Rachel Hunter and ended up a bridesmaid in Rod Stewart and Rachel Hunter's wedding. All right, so that's a lot about Fiona. She had a very interesting life, really did. All right, so now let's hear some music samples, and I will catch up with you again at the end of the video. right, so that's a little bit about Fiona. I probably didn't give her enough credit as a vocalist back in the day. I have her albums, but when she lets loose, she can really bring a lot of passion and emotion into her vocals. It's kind of the same thing like Lizzie Hale. That's why I like them so much. They're technically very good, but they can also bring that emotion, that passion, that feeling into the songs. Which sometimes she was, I think, depending on the production of the song, she was kind of held back a little bit. My favorite is when she just let loose. Fiona does a really good job when she just cuts loose. So where can you find the records? Squeeze you can stream. You can also find all these in the secondary market. If you look around, some of them are expensive, but some of them you can, if you keep shopping around, you can find them at a decent price. The first 3 albums have all been re-released. The first 2 are on Wounded Bird Records and later re-released on Rock Candy Records. The third one was also re-released on Rock Candy Records. Squeeze was not re-released. And her newest one, Unbroken, you can shop around, still find them out there for, normal CD prices. So not going to break the bank to get some Fiona. I suggest you kind of check her out and see what you think. I appreciate all you guys watching episode 101 here. It's great as always. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button or the like buttons or comments and sharing. I really do appreciate all of that. And I will catch you on the next episode. Thanks a lot.